are back with all new fall DIYs that are really easy, affordable to do. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Justina and here I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. As you see by today's title and clicking on today's video, we have fall DIYs that are made with Dollar Tree products that will make a huge impact on your fall decor this year. Make sure that you stick all the way to the end of today's video because I have a sneak peek of how I decorated our front porch this year. I had a blast decorating with my family, so I didn't record us decorating it, but you will see the end product, which came out so beautiful this year. I am super excited. Now, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. All you have to do is click on that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free, but don't forget to click on the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you every time I upload a new video. Plus, we would love to have you here, part of our virtual art family. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. You know the drill. Do all the YouTube things down below, like, comment, share. If you can, it would really help out my channel. Now, with all that being said, let's just jump right into it and let's art today. I really wanted to try to make a giant drink from Dollar Tree products for the longest, and especially for fall. So I have this wastebasket from Dollar Tree. They come in various colors, white, black, and even gray, and I'm just removing the label. I thought this was a perfect size for a really large fall drink that I am trying to create. Next, I have this craft fabric from Dollar Tree as well. It's in their new fall print that is absolutely adorable. It has fall bunnies and foxes and floral all over it. As you see here, I am cutting it down to size, and I learned that if I cut just above the already crease that is there, I can fold it over and have a perfect straight line. That way it is nice and even when I wrap my little fall drink. I will also use my burlap ribbon that I've had on hand for quite some time, and I purchased that from Walmart. The first thing I needed to do was measure the burlap ribbon, and all I did was wrap it around my little wastebasket, cut it down to size, and then to attach it, I'm just using a little bead of hot glue on the front and then a little bead of hot glue on the back. I am using this little cap that I had on my table just to press down, that way I didn't burn my fingers, but as you see here, I'm attaching it in the back, and I didn't mind that it was uneven because this project will have a front side and a back side, and obviously my ugly side will be my back side. Here I have it glued down. I'm just removing any extra fabric that I didn't want to show. Next, I'm laying that beautiful fall fabric right on top of my burlap. Once again, I am using hot glue to attach everything down. If you want a more permanent hold, I suggest using E6000 or a super glue for this. But my hot glue, I do have a Gorilla Glue stick in each one of my glue guns, so that is what I'm using today. As you see here, I'm just pulling nice and taut, making sure that my fabric is nice and even on the front side of my cup, and then I will pull tightly on the other side and attach it down as well. Now for the top of my drink, I do have this large piece of foam left over from a package that I've been using, and you can always use foam board from Dollar Tree. All you need to do is take a pencil and trace out around your wastebasket, making sure that you get a nice visible line so you could cut it down. Next, as you see here, I am using just a pair of scissors to cut mine down, but I am cutting within the drawn line that I had created. That way it fits within my wastebasket and it will be nice and snug. Now it is pretty messy with the foam that I am using. To prevent that, I usually use my wood burning tool to make those nice clean edges. However, I didn't want to pull mine out and use it at this time, so I am just using a pair of scissors, but it is quite messy. After I was done cleaning up my mess, I did dry fit it to make sure it fits, and I didn't want it to fall all the way down, so I am using these square beads that I had. Now I was pointing inside of my wastebasket because if you're going to use this outside, I suggest putting something heavy on the bottom of it just to hold it into place, because this will be top heavy when we're done. As you see here, I am adding a little dollop of hot glue on those square beads that we placed inside, and then place the foam right on top and press down until it was nice and secure. To paint my foam piece, I am using my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pumpkin, and I do give it a nice generous thick coat of that paint until the whole thing was covered. Now I do cover the middle of my drink later on, but I wanted to give everything a nice generous amount of that paint just so I know exactly where to put the centerpiece when I'm done. And also, you don't have to use orange. If you want it to look more like coffee, you can use a darker color. This is how it looks after I was done painting. Next, to make my topping of my drink, I have one of these foam pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I do have a little paint on the bottom of it from placing it down, but I did pop it off, which it does break in the center, and I am placing it right on top. And to adhere it down, I am using once again my hot glue gun and Gorilla Glue stick. I do use a generous amount of hot glue. That's because I wanted both foam pieces to melt into each other so it has a stronger bond. Now to decorate my fake drink, I am using my Fast and Final lightweight spackling that I absolutely love. I did purchase the bigger one, but Dollar Tree does have little ones that you can use for this project as well. I did take some out and put it into a piping bag. If you do not have a piping bag, you can always use a Ziploc bag and cut the corners to make your own piping bag. Next, I am just piping it right onto my little coffee drink here because this will be the whip topping for my drink. Now, at first I was going in a nice smooth motion, but then I didn't think it looked realistic, so now I'm just adding the rest of the whipped cream all messy like, so it looks like it was sprayed fresh right out of the can onto my little drink. I continue this until I covered the whole pumpkin that is underneath it. The reason I add the pumpkin on top is because I don't have to use as much of that spackling to get the desired look that I'm going for, but you don't always have to use it. If you want to use a bunch of that spackling, you can do that as well. Now I am adding some glitter right on top just to make it more sparkly. If you do not like glitter, you can skip this step. However, I just thought it needed a little sparkle so that every time I walk by it, it would sparkle and it would just bring a smile to my face. So I'm just adding it right on top of the wet spackling that is on my fake drink. Now this drink needs a straw, and I have this leftover tube from an aluminum foil container, and I'm just going to repurpose it for my straw. I am going to paint it using my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in this nice teal color that I absolutely love for this fall season, and I start painting that whole tube. I did place that to the side so that it can dry a little, and then next I'm taking some ground cinnamon. Yes, this is real cinnamon, and you can purchase yours at Dollar Tree. I just had some in my pantry, and I'm placing that right on top of my spackling. Not only does this deter bugs and stuff, it does smell really good when you walk by it, so I absolutely love this technique. Next, I'm going in with some regular acrylic brown paint, and I'm adding that right on top. You can always add some brown paint into a cup with some Mod Podge to get this look, but to save me some time, I just added the paint right on top, and I'm spreading it out with a popsicle stick. Next, I cut down my tube down to size because this will be my straw, and I'm adding it right into our spackling. Now, at first, it wasn't going deep enough, so I did take an X-Acto knife and I started cutting out a circle so that it can squeeze in. That wasn't really working either, and I didn't want this to pop off of my drink, so instead, I added a skewer stick into the center of it, then added a bunch of hot glue all over my skewer stick and around the little circle that we created with our straw, and then added our straw right back on top, and it held up really good. I didn't need to add anything else. Next, to decorate it even more, I do have some cinnamon sticks in my pantry that I'm adding right on top of it. Once again, this does deter bugs, so it won't get bugs all in your house if you have it inside. I am using some hot glue on the bottom of it, sticking it down into that spackle. And then lastly, I have this little fabric pumpkin that is also from Dollar Tree. I'm adding a bunch of hot glue to the bottom of it, sticking stuffing it right on top of my spackling, and that completes this DIY. I absolutely loved how my faux coffee drink turned out. I love how huge it is, and I can't wait to add it to my fall decorations for this season. But I would love to know what you think about this DIY down in the comment section below. Moving right into our next DIY, I have one of these clear containers from a Dollar Tree. They come in two different sizes that I've seen, a large one like this one or a smaller one. These kind of containers do stand up on their own and slant just a little, but I want to decorate my cap for this container. I had this leftover pool noodle piece. It's about 4 to 5 inches tall, and I'm adding a bunch of hot glue to the bottom of it so that I can add it right on top of my little knob on top of my container. Next, to fill in that gap, I just using some more pool noodle scraps and then stuffing it on the inside of that. That way, when I add more spackling on top, nothing will fall through the middle. And then I just add another little piece so that it can help build the dome that I'm going to create. Now, as you see here, I added a little bit of spackling into a cup, and next I'm going in with my acrylic paint in this really bright fluorescent yellow. That way we can mix it all together and color our spackle. Now, you do want to add a generous amount of paint to your spackling to make it nice and vibrant, because since the spackling is white, it does tend to tone down your colors. Next, I'm adding my spackling back into a piping bag with a piping tip, and as you see here, I have a little popsicle stick to help push all of that spackling down. I then twist my piping bag so that I can start piping it right onto the little container topper that we have here. Now, I did add a little orange paper on the bottom of it because we will add spackling to the bottom of this cap. That way it looks like it has a whip topping on the top of the cap without it touching the inside of the container. I hope that didn't confuse you, but you can see what I'm doing here. I am just using a little force and using a little zigzag motion to make these little swivels to look like a nice piped dessert on top of our cap here. Next, I did add a mixture of orange and the spackling, and now I'm adding it right on top of the yellow. Then next, I am using some just plain white spackling and adding that on top of the orange. So we have a nice candy corn color combination here, as you see. Once I had everything piped on, I am using real cinnamon sticks once again right into my spackling. That way it can hold it into place. I did add glitter as well. I just forgot to film that. Once I had my cinnamon sticks in the place where I like it, I have some of these Harvest Decor pieces, which is these acrylic pumpkins, which are absolutely adorable, from Dollar Tree, and I'm just adding 2 right on top. I add one right there, and then the second one I add sideways so it looks like it's sticking out. Then I had some floral orange picks left over. I cut them down to size and placed them right beside the cinnamon sticks. I just needed to add them to the whipped cream and it will dry and hold everything in place. Next, I have some of these straws left over from years ago that I purchased from Walmart. Cut one down to size and placed it in the whipped cream. Next, to decorate our little container here, I do have a pool noodle that I just had left over, and I want to cut it down to size. That way we make a faux center so we don't have to fill it as much if there was nothing into the center. You can always use a paper towel roll if you have one on hand. I didn't have one, which was shocking, so I'm just using a pool noodle. I'm not going to glue it down. I'm just placing it right into the center. That way we can add our candy corn. I purchased my candy corn from Dollar General. It was about $2.50, as you see from the label, but I did get 2 containers. Dollar Tree does carry candy corn, so does Walmart, but this is what I had on hand, and I'm just adding it to my container. Then I will add our topper, and that completes this DIY. I absolutely loved how this turned out. My kids were super excited to see the candy corn container all filled and ready to be eaten. I really want to make more to fill up with other goodies, but I would love to know what you think about this DIY down in the comments section below. Moving right into our third DIY, since we are doing a bunch of sweet treats for fall, I have 2 of these wooden pumpkins from Dollar Tree, and I want to fill up those little holes with my air dry clay. Now you can always use spackling, you can also use hot glue, and I've seen people use caulk to fill in those holes, but I'm just using my air dry clay. I am adding it right into the holes and pressing down firmly. Then I will add a bit more right on top of that middle area to make a raised area to make it look like faux frosting. I hope that makes sense. But as you see here, I'm just filling up the holes. Now to smooth it out just a bit, I did take a little bit of water onto my finger and started smoothing it out, but this is how it looks. I did flip it around so that you can see the back of it also, and that will be a bonus DIY that we will have at the end. But I did have to continue removing it off of the paper so that it dried completely. Now I did the exact same thing for our second little wooden pumpkin, and this is what they both look like after they had time to completely dry. Now some of my clay did crack, but it's okay. I just added more on top of it so that it was nice and smooth. Now to paint my cookie, I did go in with my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Oatmeal first, and I'm just adding it to the edges of my cookie. Now I realized after a little while it was a little bit too dark for my liking, so I do change that up later. But to fill in my little frosting part of my cookie, I am going in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pumpkin, and I do give it about 3 coats of that chalk paint to really get a nice vibrant pumpkin color. Like I said, I didn't like the outer edges being so dark, so I did go in with my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Sheepskin to make it a little bit lighter, and I am just adding it right on the edges. And that completes this DIY. Here is how my little cookies turned out. I absolutely love it. It would be really cute to make a bunch of it and have it on a platter, but like I mentioned before, there is a bonus DIY. That's because I like to decorate some of my DIYs on the back of it. So all I needed to do was flip over my cookie, went in once again with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pumpkin, and I painted the whole entire cookie. Now these are super cute because you can always make them into little coasters as well. Next, I'm taking a black acrylic paint pen and filling in all of the little face features, added a little squiggly line, and here is the bonus cookie side. I absolutely love both sides of my cookies, but I really would love to know which one was your favorite side down in the comments section below. Okay friends, that completes today's DIYs for fall. Once again, I absolutely love every one of these DIYs. They are up in my house right now on display, and my family absolutely loves it. I really would like to know which one was your favorite down in the comments section below. And if you have made it all the way to the end of the video, please put a little pumpkin emoji down in the comments section below so I know that you are the real OGs of my channel. Like I mentioned before, here is a quick peek of what my front porch entryway looks like. Me and my family decorated together, and I didn't have time to film it because we were spending some quality time, but this is how it turned out, and I absolutely love it. Everybody has complimented it when they walked by or knocked on our door to tell us that we had decorated really nicely this year, and I just loved how it turned out. Remember friends, if you are new new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. All you have to do is click on that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free, but don't forget to click on the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you every time I upload a new video. Plus, we would love to have you here, part of our virtual art family, where we do a lot of DIYs with an artistic twist. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. It really does help out my channel. And if you can share it to at least one person who loves fall as much as we do. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I had a blast making this, but sadly I believe this is my last fall DIY video for this season. A lot is happening behind the scenes, so there is more Halloween decor DIYs coming your way. But if you need more fall inspiration, I'll make sure to link those videos down in the description box below. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you being here. And as always, I will see you in the next one.